Ladies and gentlemen, it is showtime. Please enjoy the show.
It's the corner where the trees at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We about to.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys, too, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfield.
It's week 12, and things are getting real for the Kansas City Chiefs. After dropping 2 straight, every game from here on out feels like a must-win, and it is a must-win. Starting this week against the Indianapolis Colts, the Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites, and you know Mahomes, Kelce, and that entire locker room are locked in to get back on track and reassert their dominance in the AFC. FanDuel has every angle covered from Mahomes' passing props to Kelce's receptions to how this defense plans to slow down Indy's ground game. Want even more action? Build your own same-game parlay and ride with Chiefs Kingdom as Kansas City fights to get back into the win column. With fast payouts and an app that's smoother than a Mahomes sidearm throw, FanDuel makes every snap feel bigger. And don't forget, every Friday on Chief Concerns, we drop our best 5-leg same-game parlay for the weekend. Plus, JD's 10 Keys to Victory, breaking down exactly how the Chiefs can handle business against the Colts and get the season back on track. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and make every snap count. Chiefs versus Colts in a must-win football game. It's time for our Chiefs to respond. Attention all sports bettors. Big news, Chiefs Kingdom. Sports betting is finally going live in Missouri on December 1st. So we've partnered with bookies.com to bring you all the best sportsbook promos and sign-up offers in one place. Head over to bookies.com/chiefconcerns. The link is in the description below to check out all the offers from the top sports books in your area and pre-register today. You can lock in those bonuses now, even before betting officially starts on December 1st. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Chief Concerns, Keys and Cash with Dunn and Dash. I'm Marcus Dash, and our guy, former Chiefs tight end Jason Dunn, should be joining us tonight. We'll be without Teja tonight. Teja is actually on his way from the West Coast. He's coming to me right now on the East Coast. He'll be gone tonight for the episode here. He'll be back on Sunday. He actually just landed, so just terrible timing for him. I mean, dude, we have a show at 8:15 on a Friday night, but yet you still have a flight that comes here around this time. You need to be more useful with this time. You need to come here a little bit earlier, but I guess not. But he did send in a video with his bets from the airplane, actually. So we will have that when we get to the betting aspect of things. But yeah, so it should be a good episode. So just a Friday night with Chiefs Kingdom. And I'll tell you what, great night for this. There's really not a lot going on as far as college football tonight. Maybe there's some college basketball games. Usually Friday night college basketball kind of sucks. It's usually mostly Ivy League schools. My apologies to any Ivy League peeps in the chat. But yeah, not a lot going on. And then NBA, there's some games tonight. But my Sixers don't play tonight, so when the Sixers aren't playing, I'm generally not watching unless it's a really good game. So yeah, let's see who's in the chat tonight. I see a lot of people in here, our usual Friday night folks. And again, guys, my apology with the hair. I got back from the gym, didn't have time to shower. This is the kind of hair we're rolling with tonight. I'm probably going to get my hair cut soon. I have to go to a wedding in a couple weeks, so probably get my hair cut soon. I need to get a haircut for that. Although I do like the gray hair, so it's kind of distinguished look to be my girlfriend's +1 at the wedding in a few weeks. But nonetheless, Witchy Hall is here. What's up, Witchy? Sasha. Ooh, interesting. I guess YouTube's putting everyone's their @ symbol, their handles, instead of just a name, I guess. Okay. Sasha, S16CP, CP3PO. Witchy Hall, what's going on? My guy, Cordell Robinson. Joe. What's up, Joe? These handles are going to mess me up because this is what I usually see what you guys, your names are. This is kind of weird. Okay. Chief 65 TBT. I know you, buddy. Andrea, what's going on, Andrea? Hope you're doing well. Optimistic James. You know what? Optimistic James, what a beautiful time it is to have a handle like that because there's a lot of people in Chiefs Kingdom who need that optimism. we've been dealing with the pessimistic guys all week and girls all week on the channel. Like, some people were saying that JD and I were too hopeful and optimistic. Like, okay, we're not hopeful and optimistic. Who's going to be? Well, you can't rely on the mainstream media. Although I will say, for the most part this week, not a lot of people are selling their Chiefs stock. I was surprised to see Stephen A. Smith not sell it. Colin Cowherd still has us in his top 10. Vegas still has us making the playoffs. So, like, I honestly think our own fan base might be more pessimistic about this squad than, like, some of the national media talking heads, which I was pretty surprised about, honestly, because I wanted to avoid all the morning show stuff this week because of the loss last week. And quite frankly, pretty good stuff. I mean, Stephen A. usually is a hot take king. Will just, say this dynasty's over. No, he didn't say that. I mean, it's pretty easy for him to say that. It's right there on a silver platter for him. Surprised he didn't. Surprised Colin Cowherd didn't. So, yeah, pretty good stuff. The fact that our own fan base is probably more negative about our team than the national media is interesting. Interesting concept. I never thought I'd see the day. Michael Kittle, what's going on, buddy? Oh, yeah. Chief Concerns on a Friday night, baby. Oh, yeah. That's what we're talking about, baby. Okay. About time. Who watches Ivy League? I think the only time I watch Ivy League, man, probably around the tournament time, just to I'm a nerd when it comes to sports stuff, but, like, usually I'll watch the Ivy League tournament, like, to see who ends up winning who ends up winning their championship games, just to see, kind of get a little sense of what's going on in the Ivy League. I don't watch it. There's been times where Friday nights I'll throw like a $5 bet on like an Ivy League games to see, to have some stake in the game when you watch Brown versus Cornell or something like that. But yeah, for the most part, I don't watch it. Linda Hunter, what's going on, Linda? How are you doing? Optimistic James, Sixers aren't playing when they play except Maxey. Man, Maxey ain't playing at all this year, man. He's phenomenal. 54 points last night. Woo! Yeah, I love to see it. I love to see it. A lot of people were down on us this year. This is like kind of one of those things, right, where you go into a season, be it any sport, basketball or football. Usually, for the Sixers, for example, right, there's always a hype around them, always hype. This year, for the first time, there was no hype. It was like, oh, this team sucks. They're relying on Paul George and Joel Embiid, broken knees or whatever. And they came in this year and they've really done well so far, and I like that sometimes where, like, in the past with the Chiefs, right, we would sneak up on teams because we go into years and people wouldn't even think about us, right? Especially in the beginning of the Andy Reid, Alex Smith days. No one every year was Chargers or Broncos. It was never anything about us, and we would sneak up on the NFL every year, and that's kind of where the Sixers are this year. So yeah, Optimistic James, ball, buddy, ball. Cordell, my guy, about time. Me and the dog having turkey pot pies for Turkey Day. Ooh, okay. Turkey pot pie. All right. I like that. Yeah, I can't wait to see what my pops is gonna be cooking up for Thanksgiving. We go to my brother. My brother lives in the area. We go to his house. His in-laws. I guess his sister-in-law's husband is a chef, so he whips up a lot of the food there. But my dad usually makes like beef tongue. And it's a Persian like delicacy. He ends up cooking that thing up, and then he takes it over. Then that's a hit every year. Beef tongue is pretty good. It's one of those things, right? Like, some people wouldn't want to eat beef tongue, but when you tell them, like, don't tell them what it is. If you just eat it, you just think it's like a really soft piece of meat, like red meat. Really good. So beef tongue, pretty solid. Definitely recommend. It's nothing like kidney or liver, nothing like that. Beef tongue solid. Very, very, just melts in your mouth, really, depending on how it's cooked. About to me, if we don't go to the Bull, it doesn't mean Dynasty's over. Yeah. So, yeah, it's true. It's true. I heard so much more optimism about the Chiefs this week than I have all year. Always contrarians. Yeah, it's true. It's true. It was weird how, like, and I'll tell you what, and I think Stephen A. Smith brought up a good point today. And I'm not a big Stephen A. Smith fan. I'll say how it is. I'm not a big fan of his at all. But he did make a good point this week about NFL and ratings. If the NFL, like, you have a lot of new blood, like the Drake Mays of the world. I'm not going to say Bo Nix because Bo Nix is not a box office guy. But he was saying that, like, the NFL definitely does not want Baltimore and Buffalo and Kansas City not to make the playoffs. Those are people want to watch those teams play. They want to watch Josh Allen. They want to watch Lamar Jackson. They want to watch Patrick Mahomes. If they get a playoffs where none of the three are in, man, it's not going to be high rating in playoffs. I can tell you that much. I'm still going to watch it. I think most of us are still going to watch the playoffs, but it's true. A lot of people won't watch it because there's not going to be a lot of box office names. No one's going to be tuning in to watch Drake May versus versus Trevor Lawrence. No one's going to give a crap about that game. So it is a good point that I did hear. Michael Kittle, I'm really glad you guys are so optimistic. Helps us fire up, ready to flatten out that horseshoe, aka the Colts. Yeah, I mean, I really liked that we had Mike Pinnell come on the show this week. That was just the way that whole thing came together this week was awesome. I wasn't expecting Mike. I mean, literally, guys. So 2 weeks ago during the bye week, Mike was supposed to come on. He went out of town. They had like Wi-Fi connection. I think some people thought I was lying that Mike Pinnell was going to come on. I mean, why would I lie about that? But nonetheless, Sunday night after our post-game show, I'm like, after the Sunday night game, I'm like, just doing my normal thing, like editing stuff for the week and clipping videos. And I got a text from Mike. And it was like, hey, man, like I still want to come on the show. Can I come on this week? And this is they're probably on the way back from Denver at this point. And the fact that he still messaged me to reach out to me to want to come on our show. And honestly, I was like, dude, honestly, this is awesome. I was like, what I think the kingdom needs to hear from you, a veteran voice, and also I think a lot of people, this is Sunday night. I think a lot of people need to hear, like, that everything's gonna be okay and like that you guys are like handling things. And it was really cool to have him come on Wednesday to try to ease everyone's tensions and ease everyone's minds about the team. It was really cool stuff by Mike Pinnell to come on the show this week. And we'll have him on again. And we'll be sending him a Chief Concerns headband. So maybe you guys will be watching the game one of these weekends and see Mike Pinnell wearing the Chief Concerns headband when he comes off the field. Or maybe they take a picture from that practice with it. It'd be pretty sweet. Is Nick Wright still on board? Yeah, of course Nick Wright's still on board. Yeah, I mean, that guy's never going anywhere. Of course not. He's always going to stay. I don't know, Linda. Ooh, he did say that the team is on life support if they lose this week. That was like his like edgy line as far as. But he's still balling in with the team. But I think he said if they lose to the Colts this week, the team is on life support to make the playoffs. Because percentages wise, I think we go from like 64% to like 35% if we lose this game. If you're not on board during the rough times, we don't need you. That's why JD and I talked about the 2006 playoff team. Because I think a lot of people I obviously I knew at the time it was pretty unrealistic how we got in the playoffs that year. But like, I think a lot of like Chief fans need to, especially the new ones, right? Like there's been rough times, guys. And that was the year we made the playoffs, right? But like, I brought that up for more of a point. Like, hey, like we've had worse chances of getting to the playoffs when we got in. But like, yeah, I mean, like there's been plenty of bad years, and like people are just gonna bail. We're 5-5 with 7 games to go. People are bailing now. The whole thing's weird. Like I don't get it, and I get that we are in a society now that people want it overnight. I think we talked about before, microwave society, that people just want it now, the instant gratification. But like football, it's a grind, man. It's a grind. Like, and not just a season, and not just the wins and losses. Football season is a grind from October, from mini camp, training camp. It's a long battle, and we're talking about 11/21 right now, and November 21st. 7 games to go. There's plenty of time left, so like people just need to relax, honestly. My guy D Jazzy won. Hey Marcus and all good Chief fans, let's go Chiefs! Heck yeah, baby. Now only tongue for me belongs to my wife. Ooh, okay. Oh, no, good. My dad liked beef, brain, and eggs. Yeah, actually, this is a good one. Another delicacy that I've had before, actually not bad. I've had beef brain's really good. Michael Kittle, you actually might like this, and I know you guys might think this is disgusting. Testicles, cow testicles, not bad. Just gonna leave it up there. Not bad. Which you all have succeeded in curbing my appetite tonight. Okay, well, I'm sorry about that. That's why we love Big Mike. We love Big Mike. Yeah, Big Mike's the best, and we'll have him back here soon. I was here for the rough times. I'm enjoying this stretch. Super Bowl or not, it's still amazing to watch. The whole thing's amazing, man. Like, forget about the winning and the losing. Like, I remember before, while Twitter was going on, but I remember like when we want a topic on every show every day. I remember this was way before I started with Chief Concerns and all this stuff. I remember I had like a small little Twitter account. And I remember like whenever we were a mention on a sports show, I would like post that. It would get a lot of clicks. It was like, wow. Like, and this is probably like, 2014, 2015. Or maybe actually, no, I was in college. So like 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Yeah, around that time, we would never get mentioned at all, especially during the 2 and 14 years. But like those are people would click on that stuff because like we weren't never mentioned. ESPN would never talk about us even when we were good. Like they wouldn't talk about us that often. And like now we're like we're a mainstay on these networks and these shows. Like they can't have a sports show, an NFL show, without talking about the Chiefs. And like forget the wins and losses, but like we are a household name now. And I know people we can debate all day long about the America's team. And I bet you when Thanksgiving comes around this week on Monday, they're gonna be there's gonna be a whole conversation about who's America's team. Is it Dallas or is it Kansas City? And forget about that argument, but like we've become a mainstay, a team that's always talked about now, and that just shows you the relevancy you've had. I mean, a small town and like the ESPN documentary series that pretty much showed it all, right? A small Midwestern city that's like at the center of everything pop culture, right? Not just football, pop culture, right? I mean, you can't watch TV without seeing a Patrick Mahomes commercial. You can't go without seeing a Kelce commercial. It's just one of those things too. It's just like. It's cool. Like this whole time it's awesome. And to also be a Chief fan too. And this is when I would wear like Chief jerseys in school, people would always act like in high school. This is like 2008, 2012. So Brody Coyle era, end of Damon Heward era at Matt Castle. People would be like, and I'm in DC, right? So I'm not in Kansas City, but people would laugh. Are you a Chiefs fan? But now people who don't know me, if they see me at the gym wearing like a Chiefs headband or Chiefs hoodie, they'd be like, oh, bandwagon, new fan. I'm like, but we got to a point where like we are that team that people think you're a bandwagon fan of. And when I was growing up, we all remember when we were growing up, you saw a guy wearing a Patriots jersey or a Patriots hoodie around the time of their dynasty. You'd be like, oh, that guy's a bandwagon fan, right? You were, come on, you're a Patriots fan, give me a break. Or a Celtics jersey or whatnot, or Lakers. It's like, oh, bandwagon. You're not from that area. You have no rooting interest. So it's a weird thing that we become that team, and that's pretty freaking cool. Yeah, it's funny. I have to sometimes I have to explain my fanhood to people in the street, but so Linda Hunter's spoiled. We're a spoiled crowd. We are a spoiled crowd. And I think some of the newbies need to understand where we've come from. TGIF, she's what's up, Jeremy? Hope you're well, buddy. I was born into the kingdom and never once even considered rooting for any other team. Right there with you. I've got 4 older brothers, so I had a lot of different teams within the family. But Teja, having been 9 years older than me, he was alive during the Montana stretch, a Okoye stretch. He rubbed off on me. So when I was like 8, I grew up and saw JD and Dante Hall. I'm like, yep, I like this squad. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. About time sipping bourbon while eating grilled cheese and Ruffles on. Ooh, okay. Hey, my guy's having himself a Friday night. Is there anyone else thinking about putting money on the Colts just in case we lose? I'm 100% for the Chiefs, but I also like money. I think today, Teja and I were talking, or last night, we were talking about the bets this week, and I was like, you know what? I'm going down with the ship. I know people compare us to the Titanic, but if we are a sinking ship, I'm going down with it this week. I'm 100% on the Chiefs this week. Now, am I going to put my mortgage on it? No, I don't have a mortgage, but no, I'm not going to put my mortgage on it, and I wouldn't if I did. But am I going to put 25 smackaroos on it? You're damn right I am. So, yeah, I'm on the Chiefs this weekend. 100%. I don't trust Daniel Jones. I trust this team putting together. I just liken it back to, I want to take you back to the Mike Pennell interview. He said all the right things that I want to hear, and I think we should all be about that. So, if you want to hedge your bets and bet on the Colts, sure. But I think I like our chance this week. Oh, hell no. Ain't no way I'm eating testes. Come on. Thankfully, I'm vegan. Ooh, okay. Sounds like a Jason Kelce. It does sound like a Jason Kelce dish. It really does. I can see him just nodding on those things. I've seen the old-timers dip the Teslas and ketchup in the barn when we were castrating cattle. Wow. That's an image that I'm not going to be able to get out of my mind, Sasha. Thanks for that, buddy. Wow. Holy crap. Will, I've been waiting for you, buddy. So, Will, you won the raffle, or the holiday giveaway on Monday, buddy, and I haven't seen you since. Well, we had Mike Pennell on Wednesday, so I couldn't really interrupt Mike and say, hey, Will, you won the raffle, by the way. But, Will, you won the raffle. Email me, chiefconcerns@yahoo.com, and give me your address so I can send you some holiday goodies, man. And we really appreciate the review that you left us. So, we'll get on that. But, yeah, no Teja tonight, but Teja did send in a video of his bets for tonight's episode. So, yeah. He sent in a video pic. There you go. Took a plane to the East Coast for Thanksgiving. Yep, and he's going to be here all throughout. I think till January. So his job's letting him work remote for the next month and a half. So that's pretty sweet. West Coast hours though, so 12 to 8:30 or something like that. Kind of nuts. I don't know how I would like that. 12 to 8:30. It's like dark as crap outside, and you're still working. I don't know if I could do that, but more power to them. They were the first Dallas team. That's true. So you know what? The winner of this game, it'd be pretty cool. Like. Because back in the day, you guys probably, everyone remembers, we're a lot of old timers in here. But back in the day, remember like the Thursday, the Thanksgiving game was usually the throwback game. A lot of teams would wear their old uniforms and stuff. So it would have been cool to see the Chiefs come out in the Dallas Texans uniform for that game on Thursday. I mean, it would make sense, right? But they haven't done that since the Castle Jamal Charles team. Like I believe 2009 was the last time we saw the Dallas Texans uniforms. So. Our backup QB's parents live like a mile from me. Ooh, that's pretty sweet. Wait, you're talking Minshew? That's pretty sweet. Minshew's parents live a mile from you? Heck yeah. I still think that's wicked cool, BT. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Us Chief fans didn't have to complain ourselves until they started winning. Strange. That's true. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it. Wow, we got an old friend here, Wendy. What's up, Wendy? Long time no see, Wendy. Welcome back. It's been a long time, Wendy. I hope you're doing well. I hope the family's doing well. We've missed you big time. Glad you are back. I won. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Send the chiefconcerns@yahoo.com. Send it in, buddy. Give me your address. Teja and I want that address so we can see some good stuff, man. And I won't send it from me. I'll put it as Teja. I'll actually have Teja sign one of his betting sheets from a couple weeks ago where he went with 5 out of 5, and we'd say autograph that. I can try doing this by myself. I will try. I don't know if JD's going to be on tonight, so hopefully he. Yeah. I don't know if JD will be on tonight, but hopefully he will come on. And I know Teja won't be here, so. We'll talk some shop. I'll talk about some of the stuff that happened today at the press conference. Kelce insinuating that he might return or he might not return. I did like that soundbite, so we'll talk about that in the meantime. So, yeah. About time. Mark, a serious question. Junkyard or RE? Junkyard or RE? I don't really know. Maybe I'm missing the question. Junkyard or RE? I mean, Junkyard Dog, the old wrestler from back in the day. I had my brother had the LJN, like the big rubber figure of Junkyard Dog. I was a big fan of Junkyard Dog, the wrestler, and I used to watch old WrestleMania tapes. But I don't know. I don't know what you mean with that question. Maybe I just don't know what that is. What we doing? I've been in and out. There's this elderly battle rapping on IG, had me dying laughing. Sounds pretty good, man. Sounds pretty good. I remember the 3 and 13 days. Enjoy this. 100%. Everyone really needs to. And I think DeMonte actually brought a good point the other day. A couple weeks ago, we had him on. Just talking about, like, enjoy the ride here. People are stressing too much about it. And honestly, like, and I know sports in general is an escape from the mundane of life, the serious components of life. But, like, there's worse things that could be happening, right? Like, we're 5-5, right? There's way worse things going on in this world. But for people say, "Oh, blow the team up." I hate what's going on. I'm telling you, there's some people who have been. I mean, you guys came on the post game show. You definitely saw a lot of Chief fans who are coming in here just blowing it up in here, just getting upset like that. I've never seen people that mad before in this Chiefs since we started the show. Than what I saw on the post game show last week. I think some of you guys even left because you couldn't take some of the comments of people just being so pissed off. It's nuts. Wendy, we've missed you a lot. We're glad you're back, and hopefully. The recurrence. We'll see you again, hopefully. Junkyard banner essence. Junkyard. I really don't know. Junkyard band or rare essence. I don't. Are these bands? I'm totally like missing this. I don't know. Did I say something wrong here? I don't know. Explain that about time. I may be just totally missing it. I don't know. Yeah. Calling for Andy Reid's firing is way disrespectful. Yeah, I'm not Yeah, the whole Andy Reid thing makes no sense. Like, sure, people want to blame, and the whole thing about Nagy too is it's another like rabbit hole, right? Because like people forget, and now that now EB's not here, but when EB was our guy, yeah, people say, "Oh man, it's bad." Like the Colts game, ironically, everyone's remember that right before halftime, the whole EB and Mahomes spat. Everyone's like, "Oh no, EB's got to go. EB's got to go." You can see this team's not playing well with EB here. EB leaves. Nagy comes back, and also too around that time, the EB's like, "Well, everyone knows EB's not even calling plays. It's Andy Reid. You could tell when the games are good, Andy Reid's calling the plays. EB's not calling plays." That was the whole like weird thing that people had. The whole thing was so stupid. But then, fast forward to Nagy, it's all bad. Right, and now you're saying fire Nagy, but no, was it? But what? But isn't Andy Reid calling plays? Doesn't make any sense. The whole thing makes absolutely no sense. So yeah, nonetheless, the whole thing's blowing it up, disrespectful, and quite frankly, Nagy's a hot commodity. There's teams out there who want Nagy. The Tennessee Titans apparently reportedly are going to be looking into him this offseason. So, and if that happens, maybe EB comes back. He's a running backs coach for the Bears right now. Maybe he comes back. Maybe Mike Kafka comes back to Kansas City. He was the QB's coach there for a little bit. They were big fans of him. Maybe he comes back to the OC. I mean, who knows? Who knows? A lot of things. I mean, again, 7 weeks left of the regular season. So let's relax on the stuff and the what needs to be happening in the offseason and a couple months away. You're in Virginia, don't know go-go music at all. Oh, okay, go-go music. Yeah, I'm not – well, go-go is probably more of a – DC thing, but I get it. The DMV. I've been to like go-go concerts, but yeah, I don't really have any that I listen to about time. Give me some, and then I'll be well versed in it because we have our flag football games in DC. There's always go-go music going on like around us, like live concerts on the streets. So yeah, give me some ones, and I'll sound like I know what I'm talking about. Optimistic James, you're speaking my kind of language right there, buddy. A lot of people would not be okay with that, but I would love that. I would love Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, I mean, if Matt Nagy goes, I think all options are on the table. I like the Cliff Kingsbury option for two reasons. One, obviously, Mahomes, right? He's the best friends with Mahomes. That was his guy in college. I mean, let's be honest, guys. Baker Mayfield transferred out of Texas Tech because Kingsbury found this guy, Patrick Mahomes, and Mayfield knew when the writing was on the wall when this guy came in. Anyway, and also too, I like the Cliff Kingsbury aspect because you have Andy's his own offensive mind, right? And when Andy got Patrick Mahomes, Andy went into the whole lab of like trying to work this like West Coast offense mixed with the air raid offense together, and like he got a lot of those concepts that Pat was great with college. Kingsbury provides all that, the air raid aspect in the offense. So bringing Kingsbury onto this team, it's not like Kingsbury's going to run the show. He's not going to run the show at all, right? He would just bring his offensive coordinator, his mind, and kind of implement that with Andy Reid's genius. So you're constantly having that air raid West Coast merging all the time. It's not just one summer where Andy Reid goes and picks up all these different, tries to bring all these elements in together. No, you have that constantly on the board together. You have constantly two offensive minds coming at it from two different angles, and they're constantly talking about, different designs, different plays they can do. So I would love that for multiple reasons. Who knows? I think Washington might shake it up, but also too, you're gonna have your quarterback learn a new offense. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with that. I know the Commanders are gonna want to. They have a couple more years before they get to the bring back the old RFK Stadium. But if this looks like that next year, I could see Kingsbury. I mean, I could see Dan Quinn even going also. So we'll see. But I would love the Kingsbury. I wanted Kingsbury a couple years ago, when he was leaving Arizona. But yeah, Kingsbury would be a great offensive coordinator with Andy Reid because it's not. Because also, people don't want because there's also arguments I've heard of people like, oh, I don't want to bring back our former OCs. It's the same old cycle of guys bringing a different mind. But Kingsbury's kind of interesting because it's a blend of like, it's a Mahomes guy but it's also a new mind that you're kind of implementing with your Andy Reid system. So you're constantly having West Coast meets air raid in entirety all the time. So I would love an Andy Reid and Cliff Kingsbury as an OC. I really would, honestly. No one Kingsbury. See, yeah, there's a lot of people who aren't a fan of it. I would love Kingsbury as an OC. I mean, that's where I stand with it, 100%. I wouldn't say him as a head coach, but as an offensive coordinator, all day long, would love it. Because he's not like the thing is, no matter what offensive coordinator we bring in, they're not running the show. The one who's running the show is Andy Reid, right? So like, there are people who are pretty much essentially the way like JD always talks about. It's a collaborative thing. It's a collaborative effort with everybody, and like when you have all these guys together. With having EB, with having Nagy, with having Doug Peterson, with having Kafka, these are guys who have been in the system, the Andy Reid system. It's an endless kind of, they all have a similar thinking, right? But if you bring in Kingsbury, who's comes from a totally different type of system, you're having like constant like collaborative effort where it is like new schools of thought implemented with the Andy Reid school of thought. So I think that would be really interesting. So that would be my thing. As an offensive coordinator, I stress offensive coordinator for Cliff Kingsbury. That's it. I'm not saying a head coach. I'm saying offensive coordinator. So I would love that. So Optimistic James, I am with you 1,000%, buddy. Yep. There you go. I want EB back too. I mean, shoot. Hey, just because you bring in Cliff Kingsbury, I mean you can't bring EB back. Oh man, EB. Yeah, Kingsbury plus Reid, Air Raid West. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. So like, from what I read was because. For the longest time, for the longest time, guys who were coming out of college in the air raid system, like Case Keenum, Colt Brennan, Mahomes, Graham Harrell, Cliff Kingsbury, also, who was one of the first quarterbacks from that Texas Tech system. People always say the air raid offense you couldn't make a quarterback like that be a all-pro quarterback in the NFL. It just wouldn't work. The systems are different. The game is totally different. And I'm not going to say Mahomes was the first one to excel, but like a lot of that with Mahomes like excelling was a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's not going to work. I don't know that's going to be transferable to like what he did in college to the NFL," which is why he wasn't one of the hot guys. No one was really talking about him, right? He was still a first-round pick, but like I think some mocks even have him going in the second round. But like, so some people thought that like play style, you really couldn't do that in the NFL. And many years of the air raid quarterbacks not being drafted for that, not being really drafted to be a guy in the NFL. What's his name? Who was the quarterback that was Paxton Lynch, another guy who it was an air raid like system where he came from at Memphis, but at the same time, that wasn't a guy that people like thought he could. It didn't pan out for him. Okay, there you go. See, there you go. Tim Couch started me on the air raids. Yeah, Tim Couch as well. That's a good one. See, like, so you had guys that came from that system and it failed, and like people were kind of scared away from it. So like, you talk about, you talk about like the Graham Harrells, the Cliff Kingsburys, Colt Brennan, all those types of guys who came from the systems. Case Keenum broke like I don't know if you guys remember this at Houston, but like he broke like every record, like every college quarterback record, and it just wasn't like taken seriously by large part of the NFL standards. So, being the offensive genius that Andy Reid is, Andy Reid looked at what Patrick Mahomes did, and it's like it's so cool because like most of the time you draft these quarterbacks, and we saw like Baker Mayfield, for example, when he got drafted by the Browns, that offense was not catered around what Baker Mayfield's strengths were. You didn't really see that till Baker Mayfield goes to Cleveland, or actually with the Rams that won that finals half of the season, where actually Sean McVay tried to actually orchestrate an offense around him. Around what his strengths were. Then he goes to Tampa and they kind of mold the offense around his strengths. Most of the time you see all these failed quarterbacks that come in the league is because teams never actually adapt to that player's strength like Andy Reid did for Patrick Mahomes. It's usually, this is the offense I run and I want you because I think you're going to run the offense I want. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid was like, hey, like this kid's doing some special stuff in Texas Tech. I'll implement a lot of what he's doing and kind of put my little touch on it. So, like, we can definitely see that Andy Reid already did that with Pat. And to bring Cliff Kingsbury on to continue that, I think they're pretty cool, quite frankly. So I don't know if you guys are in with me on that, but that's kind of how I see it. So, all right. So, okay, let's see here. I don't know if he's coming on tonight. Anyway, let me before we go into the bets for tonight. I don't know if we're gonna have JD on tonight. JD is dealing with some family stuff right now. So I don't know if he'll be coming on here tonight. But I did want to go over this. So some current events, I'll just say. So Travis Kelce spoke today about his future. And a guy who's 36 years old, he's a tight end 2 in the NFL right now, only behind Trey McBride, who I think Trey McBride's a badass. That's what I think. He talked about his future today, and I kind of wanted to show that, and I think it's cool because, like, hey, I know people already try. I've already seen mock drafts, people saying, "Oh, we should get the Oregon tight end." Like, dude, relax. We're not getting we're not drafting anybody right now. Let's just hold off on that. And like Pat, I mean, and the thing is, it's like you just gotta wait on this whole situation. Just gotta wait. There's 7 games left. Let's relax. Let's go here to this Kelce retirement. So I mean, like, I think a lot of people were kind of think it's his last year, a foregone conclusion. I know a lot of people keep saying that, but guys, I really don't think he's. I honestly don't think. I think on the table, it's on the table. He comes back. But yeah, let's share this away. So if you guys haven't seen this, this is what Kelce had to say today about coming back, potentially coming back.
I don't know, just how the league works. You know, the season kind of restarts in April, and I want to give the Chiefs a good opportunity to, you know, whether I come back or not, and vice versa, like whether they want me back or not. It's one of those things where I'd like to make that decision before they got to get draft picks and the free agency opens, so that it gives them an opportunity to go out there and fill the roster appropriately. So all that will be at the end of the season, and I won't be thinking about it until then.
So I don't know. It really doesn't tell me if he's coming back next year or not, but it does tell me that it's not set in stone, right? Because a lot of people said, you know, he came back because he didn't want to end the way it ended right in the Super Bowl. So he's giving them time to pick up a replacement. That's what I got from it. Yeah, I mean, I can see that too. But I think for me, it's like for a guy who lost the Super Bowl, right? And he said he didn't want to go out that way, and people think it was his last season. This surprised me his last year. I mean, I know we were trying to be optimistic here. We're 5-5. We lose to the Colts. It gets harder. We can't really afford to lose any more games after that. Is this? I mean, do you risk leaving on a year you don't make the playoffs, especially when you are tight end 2 in the league? I don't know. I really don't know. I think it's really up in the air, and this really kind of adds to it. It doesn't really tell you one way or the other he's coming in or not, or staying or not. But I don't know. It's interesting because he didn't think. I mean, like everybody else, he didn't think that we weren't going to make the we're going to have this kind of a year, right? I mean, every metric we're better than we were last year in a lot of the metrics besides the win-loss column, but like. He's playing as well as he is. I don't think anybody expected him to play this well. I think Vegas had his over-under for the season at touchdowns at 3. So, like, no one knew he was going to come in and play like this and be a tight end 2 right now. It's really, you know, I don't know. I could really see him staying one more year at least. Got a lot of juice left, right? He's getting married next year. Come on. Doesn't mean now. I love people say, "Oh, he's getting married next year." He's calling it quits. How? I mean, plenty of you. I'm not married, but plenty of you guys are married. Right? I mean, like, did you call it quits on your profession? No. What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll support him either way. I just don't think. I think people are saying it's too much of a foregone conclusion that he is retiring. I don't think so. I really don't. Linda Hunter, I think he has a pretty bright future without football. I never said he didn't. I never say it didn't, but that doesn't have to happen now. Doesn't have to start now. I just think the way he's playing right now is not a guy who's at the end of his career. And the way we're playing as a team, that's not the way he's going to want to go out. He didn't want to go out as a Super Bowl loser last year. He's not going to want to go out with a team that potentially doesn't make the playoffs, or a team that's a first-round exit, or a team that, I don't know. I think for me, it's like he's playing as well as he is. Maybe he didn't expect he'd be as good as this year. I don't know. But the fact he's tight end too, nobody expected that. Vegas usually has a way with these things with their stats and prop stats. They had no clue that he was going to be this good this year. And he's number 2 tight end. Shoot, everyone's talking about the Tyler Warren guy when you put him head-to-head against old Trav. Trav's dominated him. Trav's dominated most of the tight ends in the league besides Trey McBride. That's it. So, yeah, he's got an amazing future outside of football. He can do that. He can do a lot of this stuff now. So, yeah, which he's in the best shape of his life, own words. Yeah, so, I don't think it's the end for him. And I just hate the whole the theory of, he's getting married, so he's done. Come on. Doesn't mean that at all. I mean, what? Most of NFL players are married. A lot of these guys are married. They're retiring. What? I mean, come on. That logic, you say a lot of things, but that's just a ridiculous thing to say he's getting married, he's done. What? So then by that logic, every NFL player should be retired because they're married. And they've already had one big contract, so that's it. I mean, it's stupid. It really is stupid. Just because his marriage is like a high profile one, everyone sees it, that doesn't mean he's done. And look at his numbers and look at the way he's played. Does he look like a guy who's retiring? Does he look like he's on his last legs? No. I know I get that, Wendy, but I'm saying a lot of people think since he is getting married, people think he is like that. That's it. He's getting married next year. He's starting his next chapter of his life. Sasha, when I got married, I got a second job. There you go. So you know what? Even more of a reason why he needs to do that, right? But I mean, I just think people are just saying too many things like she's not going to want him to play football anymore. I don't. I mean, I based on what? I don't know. I don't know. They're both performers. She's not going to stop touring, and he's not going to. I mean, yes, he can't play football forever. Jazzy D, play the other part of his interview where he credits his all-season exercise to his good physical status, better than last season. There you go. I mean, so the whole thing is ridiculous. That he's not going to. If he retires, it's because he's done. But it doesn't. He's got the fire still. He's still playing like a beast. He's not going to retire because he's getting married. So Taylor strives to be the best at what she does. Travis strives to be the best at what he does. Exactly. So the whole Taylor, they're getting married, she's not going to want to play anymore. Who said that? People all of a sudden know everything about Taylor Swift's life. Sure, I know there's a lot of Swifties out there who know where she's going to eat on Saturday nights and Friday nights, but no one knows how she's talking to Travis about this. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Wendy. No one. But a lot of people think that because they're getting married, that's it. It's ridiculous. Taylor will support any decision he wants, especially now she's become a fan. Exactly, and she's a big Chief fan, and she knows there's going to be a huge vacancy in that tight end room if he's gone. So she'll hopefully want him to play one more season. You can't go out like that, Trav. They need you. So. And, of course, they'll give us a nice little hometown discount with that final year of his contract. Make it an entirely incentive-based deal. Trav, if you hit 900 yards and 5 touchdowns, you'll get paid handsomely. It's fully incentive. No base, just incentivized deal. I would love that. Tariq 84, honestly, I think Travis just lacks focus this year. And if he didn't, I don't think it's crazy to say he'd be number 1. I mean, gosh, the guy's dominating right now, man. Is he I know he's top 10 in drops, but he's also getting targeted a lot. So, I don't know if he likes focus. He seems pretty locked in. He seems like the more locked in guy in our entire offense right now. So I think the one thing is, as far as I don't think this is not being locked in, but I do think he's trying to make more of plays and whatnot. For example, a lot of his drops are he's trying to do the next thing before he catches it, right? That's a very common thing, especially when you're down, you're not playing well, the team's not playing well, you want to do a lot for the team. That's why they always say receivers look the ball in, catch it, secure it before you do anything else. But some of his drops are the drop of I'm already figuring out my next moves before I even bring the ball in. It's catch the ball, I'm already looking around. So I don't think it's not a locked in thing. I think he just wants to do a lot more, right? And he's playing his ass off. So I'm not going to complain about anything Travis is doing this year. I think Travis is phenomenal. So that's where I stand with that. Travis can make babies without giving up football. Even if Taylor has to take a performance back. Come on. Oh, come on. All right. So, again, guys, I don't know if JD's coming on tonight. He is dealing with some stuff with family. Yeah. Say a prayer or two for JD and his family. Chat is okay. Yeah, I don't think JD will be coming on tonight. Just he's got a lot going on with fam right now. So please say a prayer for JD and his family right now. But I will be going into our bets right now, and we can begin with our betting portion of the show tonight. So yeah, I hope you guys are okay. So we have about 50 people in tonight. So hopefully you guys are okay seeing my mug for the next 15 to 20 minutes. I love you guys. So I enjoy hanging out with you guys on a Friday night. So I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. You guys are family, wrapping the whole Dunn clan in positive energy. I appreciate that. For JD and family. Love it. Prayers up to JD and the fam. Love it, love it, love it. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Actually, let's see if I can do that. Ooh, okay. All right, cool. All right, so last week, kind of tough week for me. I wanted us, my bet was based around us winning. So when you do that, that's one of the things that when you do same game parlays and like you try to do it like in a more of like a trend, right? Where like it's kind of all wrapped in together. So the Chiefs win, then Butker's gonna have a good lot of field goals, and if Mahomes didn't do that pick, Butker would have 3 field goals, by the way, unless it was blocked because of Jawan Taylor's miss. But so yeah, I went 2 for 5 last week. Chiefs did not win. Chiefs did not score over 22.5 points. But and Butker did not have 3 field goals. He didn't even get a chance to get that third one because Mahomes threw a pick there. But Kelce, 40 yards receiving, boom, and under 49.5 total points for the game. Teja, on the other hand, did pretty well last week. The only one he did not get was the Chiefs winning. But he missed on the Chiefs winning. Hunt, over 12.5 carries. He had 13 carries. RJ Harvey, Teja called that. And me and JD were very pessimistic on that one. RJ Harvey under 53.5 rushing yards. Rashee Rice, 6+ catches. And Harrison Butker, 2+ field goals. Teja locked in last week, went 4 for 5. But right now, Teja and I are dead heat, guys. 28-49 of the season. Both of us are not bad with our picks. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. Let me pull up. So we're going to go to Teja's bets, and I'll let Teja explain that himself. So here is Teja on his airplane coming here. So here you go.
All right, man. I'm doing this from the airplane, the actual airplane. If you're reading this, it means I'm in the air. But please take my bets and run with them. First one, Chiefs minus 2.5. It's just a must-win. If last week wasn't, this one definitely is. It's the most desperate must-win game we've had outside of a playoff game or Super Bowl game in the Mahomes era. No question. Mahomes, 2 touchdowns. I think we look sharp in the passing game, and I think he gets back on track here with 2 TDs. Jones, 4 rushing attempts. So he hasn't rushed a lot this season compared to his Giants tenure. But 6 out of 10, which isn't that bad. But I believe we'll still have to stop Jonathan Taylor, so he'll need to do anything to pick up the yards and extend drives to keep the Chiefs off the field. Worthy, 3 catches. At least 3 catches in 6 out of 7, not counting the Kelce injury game. And I think we make a point to get him more involved. Warren, 5 catches. Averaging 5 per game this season, but he has 17 targets the last 2 weeks. And I suspect the Colts will have to throw a lot in this game. 25 to win, and even 200.
All right, so what do you guys think of Teja's bets tonight? So Mahomes 2+ touchdowns. I definitely see this. If we all, I think most will see us winning this game. So I think that definitely happens. Chiefs minus 2.5. The Chiefs are favored by 3.5 right now, so it's a little bit less than that, but minus 2.5 just by a field goal. So I do like that as well. Daniel Jones 4+ carries. I could see that. I mean, I think they're going to try to do everything they can to win this game too, to be the team that does the Chiefs in officially. But yeah, I could see that. Worthy 3+ catches. I do think Worthy's going to be featured a lot in this game. I think he's got a lot of crap over the last week, right? With the whole not being able to connect to Mahomes. So I do think they're going to force it. I don't know if force it, but I think he'll have a big game. Let me put it to you that way. And then Warren, 5+ catches. I can see it. Although we have been pretty good against the tight end this year, outside the Kincaid game against the Bills. But I could see it. That is their guy. Michael Pittman's been pretty good for them too. But yeah, I could definitely see this one hitting 25 to win 200. That's Teja's bet. Let me know what you guys think. Don't know about Worthy. He's had a bad ankle. But he's pretty much had that all season though, right? I mean, I don't know. I think this is all precautionary stuff with Worthy, just because that's kind of been the thing like all year for him. So I don't know. I'm maybe I'm biased because I have Worthy in fantasy and I have him in my bet as well. So yeah, I think they're gonna make a point to get him the ball this week. He was limited pretty much all week in the games, but at the same time, I think they are. I think they're going to try to get the ball. I think they made a big deal and big point to talk about the deep ball this week. I mean, that was pretty much literally every one of their press conferences. I hear Nagy talking about it. Mahomes was talking about it. So I can see it for sure. Optimistic James, yeah, definitely a safer bet. Okay. All right. So 25 to win 200. That's Teja's bet. And then I'll of course post the poll in the chat after we go over my bets. So without further ado, let's get down to it. Here is my bet for week 12. All right, so I got the game total. So the game total right now is 50.5. It went up from 49.5, and now it's 50.5. But I bought it down a little bit. So I have this game total being over 45.5 points. You have the top two most efficient offenses in the league. The Chiefs and the Colts. Colts are the number one efficiency as far as offensive scoring, and we're number two. Colts are coming off a bye, and the Chiefs are looking for offensive redemption after everyone kind of questioning how bad we looked last week. Colts secondary, bottom 8 secondary in the league. At bottom 10, no Buckner this week, so that the interior won't be getting kind of eaten up by their backup defensive tackles. In Kansas City, 5 out of the 10 games have gone over 45.5, so split. And then Indianapolis, 9 out of 10 games have gone over 45.5 points. So all but one game for Indianapolis has gone over 45.5 points. So I like that one a lot. And then we have Travis Kelce, 40+ receiving yards. This has been one of the biggest hits for me all year long. I've gone back to this one almost every week, and it's hit almost every week. 9 out of 10 games is almost hit every week. So 9 out of 10 games. Indy has allowed the 4th most yards to tight ends this year. 5 of the 10 starting tight ends have eclipsed this against them. The problem with this bet with that is some of the teams they play don't really have a guy. Like the week they played the Raiders, Bowers did not play. So it was tough to kind of go to this bet. But, I still had to give it to you. 5 out of 10 starting tight ends have eclipsed the 40 yards. But Kelce, 9 out of 10 games, like just talked about. He is the guy this year. He is that dude. So I like this. Mahomes, 250 passing yards, 7 straight games, 8 of the 10 games this year, he's had over 250 passing yards, and 7 straight games of doing this. I think they're going to continue doing this with him. 4 of the 10 quarterbacks have done this to Indianapolis this year, but 2 of the quarterbacks who did it had 375+ yards. I think Brissett and Stafford had I think it was Brissett, Stafford, and what's his name? Herbert all had 300+ passing yards against them. So 4 of 10 quarterbacks have done this to him this year, and they're also bottom 8 pass defense in the league. Not good. This is not a good secondary. I know they got Sauce Gardner, and they have Charvarius Ward. This is a team that has been susceptible against the pass this year, and this is what we want to do. Although I hope they establish the run with Kareem Hunt. I think Mahomes is 250+ this year, or this game against them. So Xavier Worthy against or 50+ yards against this Colts secondary. Like I said, bad secondary, bottom 8 secondary in the league. They've allowing the 8th most passing yards in the league this year. eighth most per game as well. So I kind of looked at this team and looked at their games, and were these different than like Rashee Rice, say, right? He's your traditional number one receiver. Were these more of your deep threat receiver, right? This is a guy who is going to be getting the deep ball. I mean, hey, if Mahomes connects him in that first drive last week, he's got 60 yards right there. Boom, this bet's over. But it's an if, but it seems like something they were like working on. And this is if he plays. And if he doesn't play, this gets voided, and then we don't even have any worthy bets. So that's also something too. But I looked at their games this year. So I looked at specifically deep threats, and every team's got one. Some teams don't really have one. I still went through it anyway. So of the 10 games they've played this year, 5 of the 10 teams' deep threats all had 50 or more yards receiving against them. Calvin Austin, Chimere DK, Trey Tucker, Tutu Atwell, and Franklin from the Broncos. All these 5 of 10 guys had 50 or more yards receiving in those games. So yeah, and I think they're going to make a big point to get him the ball this week. I really do. I think he's going to be a guy they want to throw the ball to, especially deep. I think they're going to make a point with him. And hey, like Teja had 3 catches. I don't maybe not see 3 catches from him, but I could see him getting a 1 bomb at least. And they wouldn't let me parlay it, but like a catch of 19 and a half receiving yards, like a longest catch, I can see that with him this week. Because I really do think they're going to force the issue with him. And then my final one, Colts under 24.5. So in every one of the Colts losses this year, they scored below 24.5. They only have 2 losses, but in those games, they both scored under 24.5. And yeah, in every one of our wins, the losing team in our games all scored below 24.5 points. So it's kind of a happy meeting. If we win, they're probably going to score under 24.5. And if they lose, they're probably going to score under 24.5. So if both those things stack up together, that's what we're talking about here. And then in general, 7 of our 10 opponents we've played this year have scored under 24.5 points. So even when we've lost some of these games this year, teams have scored below 24.5 points. So yeah, that's $25 to win 325 smackaroos for this bet. So yeah, it's a good one. I like this one a lot. The best thing is too, when you guys do parlays, this is why it's a high number. When you're doing a combination of like an over and an under in one bet, like for example, I have over 45.5 points, but I have the Colts going under 24.5 points. That like it's one of those things where it's like a positive negative kind of thing. So we're like it'll boost your bet up big time. I don't know what the exact phrasing is, but it's what I've watched a lot of betting seminars over the years and stuff. And like, yeah, when you mix an over and an under in the same bet together, it makes for a nice little payout here. That's because I think we're going to score a lot of points this game. I mean, so yeah. Is Worthy too fragile though? Hey man, Worthy beat the defender in that last game, man. If he gets open, and like I said, the deep threat receivers have had a really good luck against this Colts secondary. Like I said, Chimere DK had more than this. Calvin Austin had more than this. Trey Tucker had more than this. Tutu Atwell had more than this. And Troy Franklin had more than this. So like the deep threat receivers have done pretty well against this Colts defense, which is allowing 8th most passing yards in the league this year. So that's kind of where I have it. So this is what you guys are voting on. JD is not here tonight, so you guys are going to be the ones to vote on this one. So what do you got here? Do you got me or do you got Teja? Let's see what you guys are working with here. All right, no one has voted yet, so let's refresh this puppy. Okay, no one's voted yet. So yeah, this is me versus Teja. Who you guys got? Ooh, G-Pick, the man. There he is. G-Pick or Tailgater as his new nickname. But yeah, G-Pick. He's back, baby. Thornton might be a good one. I want to take the risk there, man, because like with Thornton, it's either one catch or nothing potentially with him. So like that would suck. At least with Worthy, we know he's at least going to get a couple catches, so maybe he breaks one for 50 yards. But yeah, Thornton's a good one. I mean, I think his over-under is probably like 15.5 or something like that. I'll look what it is for argument's sake here. I got you, Michael Kittle. I got you, buddy. Only one vote in, and yours truly is winning this one. Optimistic James going with Teja. Wow. So my guys Will and Optimistic James out on me this week, huh? That's not cool. I don't love that. Not going to lie. I don't like that at all. Okay, Tyquan Thornton's bet. Okay, so Tyquan Thornton. Let's see if they even have him listed. No, they don't even have Tyquan Thornton listed this week. Interesting. Yeah, no Tyquan Thornton. So, okay, I'll read you our guys. So, the main this is the main lines for them. You can like go in and alt line these things, meaning like, for example, like Kelce, I think his standard line is 55.5, but you can make it an alt line like I did. I did an alternate line for 40 yards receiving. But these are the lines for our guys this week. Rashee Rice, 72.5 over under is his like main line. Kelce's 55.5. Xavier Worthy's 40.5. So I actually sold points on this one and made it 50 yards, give it a little bit bigger boost. Hollywood Brown, 21.5. Noah Gray, 9.5 yards. Kareem Hunt, 8.5 yards. And Juju Smith-Schuster, 8.5 yards. No Tyquan Thornton to be spoken of here. This is interesting. Yeah, it's one of those things they can't predict Tyquan Thornton, so they don't even want to list him. It's a tough guy to kind of bet on. I would say, and they actually don't even have Brashard Smith here either. And like last week they did have Brashard Smith listed. You can actually bet on his stuff, but I guess there's two guys that you really can't like count on. So there's like they're saying, no, what, screw it, we're not going to put him on there at all. I'm going to another sportsbook to see if they do have Tyquan Thornton. No Tyquan Thornton. Nope. Yeah, the sportsbooks don't want it. They don't want to do it. They don't trust it. Yeah, no Tyquan Thornton this week. Nothing. All right, so who we got here? So we have 8 votes in. I got Teja right now, 5-3. Boom. I love that. I love seeing that. You guys know what you're talking about. Optimistic James, I got Teja this week. Michael Kittle, Marcus, I like yours. Michael, you're my guy. Love you, buddy. Big dog KC Teja. Okay. A lot of people are going with that. And the interesting thing was when I did over 45.5 points and I did under 24.5 for the Colts, it would not let me take the Chiefs to win. So they're obviously saying like you think it's to be over that and you think they're going to have less than that. So it was kind of a double back on taking the Chiefs. They wouldn't let me do that, which kind of sucked. Downtime's getting ice cream. Nice. We have screen name back. Oh, yeah. G-Pick's back, baby. Casey needs to shut down Taylor and they get a W. Put the game in Jones's hands. He won't make a mistake. It's funny how real Mike Pennell was. I've seen some people say that Pennell was kind of he had like too many PR type answers on our show. I don't think so at all. Like he came on here and told us what it is, right? Like what G-Pick just said right there is something that we would say like, oh, yeah, we're going to play the Colts. So we're going to stack the box and make Daniel Jones beat us. We're not going to let Jonathan Taylor beat us. That's essentially what he said on the show. If you guys listen to what he said, I mean, we didn't talk that much about the preview of it because I'm not going to give away game plans. But he said, like, yeah, we're going to shut him down and make Daniel Jones beat us, essentially. That's what it was. That's not like a direct quote. But it just tells you, like, that is what they're going to do. And, like, Daniel Jones, can you do it? Can you? We're going to see. Tyler Warren scares me a bit. Yes and no. We've been pretty good against tight ends this year. So, and he's not like a speed demon tight end. He's like a very physical guy. So like we're gonna have a kind of I think that actually benefits us. Kincaid's an athlete. He's not really a receiver, or he's not really a tight end. So that's why he kind of beasted us. But like these other like Tyler Warren's more of a lumbering kind of guy. I mean, those guys really haven't done anything to us this year, for the most part. I was going to say, James, I've been with you every other week, but I think Teja has you this one. It's all right. Hey, we'll take it. Hey, man. Every week's a different week. I'll take it. I will take it. So it looks like we have 9 votes in. I have Teja 5-4. That's what it looks like. So, guys, whether you take my bet, or you take Teja's bet, or if you like some of them, go for it. I think if you're going to take one bet this weekend for my bet, I would say Kelce 40-plus receiving yards. I would say smart betting, actually, if you're going to put 25 on 2 bets, go Kelce 40-plus receiving yards and go Chiefs over 45.5 points. I think those two are game total over 45.5 points. Kelce 40 receiving yards and game total over 45.5 points. You put those two together, I think, yeah, that's a solid bet right there. I think that one you can't go wrong with. That's a definite hit. But if you want to have fun with it and put some other things on the line there, there's the 25 to win 325. So yeah. Michael Kittle, Daniel just came up on injury list with the hurt calf. Yeah, hurt calf, but I mean he was limited. I mean he's gonna play, but you're right. That's not it's definitely not something you want. But again, you're against a pass rush that that hasn't really done much this year. So if you are going to have a hurt calf, I guess this is a good week to have that, I would say. It's a pass rush you're not really that scared of, which is unfortunate to say, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But all right, guys. Well, that does it for us tonight on this week of Keys and Cash with Dunn and Dash. I love you guys. Like I said, JD is dealing with some family stuff right now in Teja. Like you guys saw, he's on the airplane. But yeah, guys, send in all your well wishes to JD. Maybe even add him on Twitter and send him love. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into any detail about anything, but you know, it's nice to send JD your love and prayers right now. I love you all. You guys are fantastic. Thank you for guys for being with me tonight. You guys, we had 50 people in here at one point tonight. It was nice to have everybody be with you guys tonight. Yeah, we are family on this show. We're always gonna have each other's backs, and that's why I love you guys so much. And hey, thanks for guys for sticking with me tonight on this. It's a one-man show tonight, guys. It's like me bringing back my local news days of having to carry a show all by myself. Yeah, there was times where I had to be at the anchor desk. This is Lansing, Michigan, right? I'd be at the anchor desk by myself. It was like during the holidays, so the main people like they weren't there, so like we had the shit shifts, so we had to like be in the I had to man the control of the desk. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm more free balled and having good times with you guys, but kind of remind me of that a little bit. A one-man anchor show tonight. So yeah, but again, guys, send love to JD. I love you guys, and we'll get back here Sunday after the Chiefs-Colts game. 1 o'clock start time, so 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Probably be back on here around 4 o'clock tonight. So yeah, be good stuff. Sheepick, you have to have crazy energy to do a live stream. Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, you can't be a nervous Nelly. You can't be a sleepy. You can't be a sleepy person coming on the show. Now you gotta come on here. You gotta be rambunctious. You gotta be energetic, enthusiastic, and I cover all those bases there. You know, when I was working in local news, we had what do we call it? They have like a talent guy would come in, like a talent agent, but like a person who was like you kind of look over your videos, look over your news stories, and like watch you do stuff. A talent evaluator. And they would come in. It was from corporate too, and everyone was always scared of the guy. The one thing he said to me, anybody want to guess what his number one critique was of me? I'll let you guys go in the chat. I didn't care because like I am who I am. I'm gonna talk with my hands. I'm just gonna be who I am. Like talent evaluator, whatever. Like you either like me or don't like me, whatever. Well, his biggest critique of me was that I spoke too fast and I was too energetic. What are we talking about here? You know, like for me, it's like, okay, whatever. I'm too energetic. Well, sorry, I'm not going to be one of these people who sounds like I'm not going to do the local news, the local news, like up and down voice that everyone does. Like you watch one local news story, guys, for the most part, you go through any other city and watch local news channels. The female reporter, the male reporter voice, they all have the same thing. And I just kind of am who I am when it came to it. So I remember like, yeah, well, that's who I am. And he would make fun of me with my hands. I'm always talking with my hands, always. And that is like I'm half Persian, half Cuban. And those two ethnicities, very handsy guys. I remember I used to get called out all the time for people saying, oh man, this guy's talking with his hands too much. It's distracting the story. Okay, it's not distracting from the story, okay? Like you're choosing to let it distract you. But nonetheless, it was nice to kind of have pay homage to my old anchoring days back in the day. But it was nice to do that tonight with you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. I love you guys big time. You guys are my favorite. And that's a good presentation. Talk with your hands. Always. Good night, Marcus. Great job soloing tonight. Have a great weekend. I appreciate you, Andrea. I hope you do as well. You ain't talking too fast. You were just listening to slow and 50 cent words. He was. Yeah, that's what I always say. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. So Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, start time, kickoff. We'll be back. We'll be on here around 4:30ish, I would say. So yeah, guys, we can all do that, and we love you guys. And again, send your love to JD. Maybe reach out to him on Twitter. Send him love, and I love you guys. And yeah, see you guys next time. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, Subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.